Welcome everyone and to the next episode of Spotlight in Education here at San Benito Schools. I'm Luis Gonzalez, your host, and today we're going to be discussing college, career, and military readiness here at San Benito Schools. We want to first welcome our panelists, and first we want to welcome back our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Fred Bettis.
Good morning.
We also have joining us, representing the Board of Trustees, Mr. Israel Verial III.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. And we have San Benito High School Principal, Ms. Mamie Lopez, joining with us today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be discussing the initiatives that we have implemented and we have offered our students and our families when it comes to college, career, and military readiness. And that is our post-secondary preparation we have for our students. And so it not only is for our seniors, but it's also for the entire school district. We want to start and implement activities that address our kindergarten students, pre-K, all the way to our 12th grade students. But in particular, we're going to be discussing the initiatives that we've been implementing at San Benito High School through our College and Career Center. So first, Mr. Bettis, we know that there's been an increase or an intense focus on college and career readiness here in San Benito for this year. Can you tell us a little bit about what we've been doing a little bit different this year?
We really looked at a lot of the programs that, focus on what our students are going to be doing post-high school, right? So their options are, of course, going to college, making sure that they start their careers, those that are interested in the military. So we just, we've met a lot and tried to really hone in on what can we do as a district for these students to reach those goals. I know we've looked at the middle schools a lot. We've added some classes at the middle school level so they can start these career and technology courses. That way when they get to the high school, they're focused more on upper level courses and they can get certifications as they leave us. Same thing with the military. We've been trying to bring in more recruiters, giving them more time on our campuses, letting them speak to our students. That way, again, they have all the information they need before they leave us their senior year.
And Mr. Verial, you have a double duty in terms of you're a parent, of course, of secondary students, of one in Veterans Memorial Academy and then in San Benito High School graduating senior. And then you also are a board member. So can you talk a little bit about the support that our parents and our students need in order to have a successful path for their post-secondary experience?
I believe here we have a very strong CCMR program. As a parent, I really appreciate the options for the kids. From a college standpoint, we have dual enrollment, AP, the AP program, and then for our career workforce, we offer certifications, and that's very valuable to me as a parent also. And then, of course, we have our OTC, which helps our military-seeking students. So as a parent, those things are very important to me. Now, as a board member, it's still an amazing program to see because I see the benefits from both. And, I think this program is not only helping our students, but it helps our economy, our workforce, the state, and our nation. We're getting kids ready to go to college. We're delivering students that are ready to work in the workforce to make an immediate impact. And then we're also preparing students to go into the military and serve our nation.
Exactly. Great. Now, Ms. Lopez, as principal of San Benito High School, you have also been instrumental in ensuring that our students are prepared for college, careers, and also for the military as well. Can you talk a little bit about the initiatives that you've been implemented at the high school?
Correct. So we've had, several initiatives that we implemented. One of the biggest components of CCMR is for our students to be TSI ready. And so we went ahead and took that and decided to implement several things at our campus. One of the first things that we did is we provided boot camps throughout the school year so that we could go ahead and not only prepare the students by testing, but also providing that tutorial for the students as well, and making sure that we go ahead and individualize each student's plan for that success. Additionally, we also implemented Saturday academies where we went ahead and worked with specific groups like our band, our extracurricular groups, our athletics, our wrestling teams, our volleyball teams, and so forth. And we brought these students in as groups with their coaches. We provided, again, on Saturdays, a tutorial for these students. And we went ahead and, in addition, provided them the opportunity to test. So another initiative that we did, knowing the importance of TSI, and knowing that this is an assessment that the students need in order for them to be successful at the college level, that is showing the colleges that our students are successful and are at that level to take that coursework that's required. We went ahead and started looking at our classes, our English 3 and 4 classes, and our college, not our college algebra, excuse me, but our Algebra 2 courses, right? So this is where we have our juniors and seniors in those courses, and so we targeted those classrooms and those teachers to not only prep the students for the objectives and the TEKS that are required, but also to implement and go ahead and implement the TSI objectives as well so that those students could be successful. And so we're doing that testing every 3 weeks. We started last semester and we're continuing this semester as well. So I think that impact is going to be seen, at the end of the year and throughout the years that come into play.
And that also applies, the AP program also applies with some
Correct.
of the preparation we do as well.
Yes. So, it's not just our TSI, but we're looking at our IBCs, which is part of our CCMR, and CTE certifications. So we did a testing of students for CTE certifications, and our students did amazingly great on on our CTE certifications. We had over 400 to 500 students taking CTE certifications. Not all of them were seniors, but we had sophomores, juniors, and seniors that were taking these certifications and that have a pathway in which they're gonna be successful when they go ahead and leave our campus.
Okay. Mr. Verial, last episode we had on Spotlight of Education, we had the NJROTC program, Mr. Esquivel, come in and discuss the components of that program, but also as it prepares students who may want to be part of the military of the United States. And so you're a great example of someone who chose a different path, and that path is joining the military first, serving, and having a career in that regard. And then also going on, once you left the service, you became, or you entered the college realm. And so you got your degrees, and so you're a good example of taking a different pathway, that there's many pathways our students can take. Can you share a little bit about your experience and how we want to encourage some of our students to perhaps take that path as well?
Absolutely, sir. I don't recall there being a lot of emphasis on CCMR when I went to school. And so I knew at the time that I lacked the discipline to succeed in college. And so I decided to join the military. I didn't want to stay here and not be a resource to my community or my country. I wanted to make a direct impact. And so I decided to serve in the U.S. Navy. And through the Navy, I learned discipline and got to do a few things and go around the world. And shortly after that, I decided I wanted to go to school. And I pursued an education while being in the military. And so the Navy actually has a program where if you don't have a degree, they can send you to school full-time while still being in the service. And so at one point, my job in the Navy was to be a college student.
Oh, great.
And so I went to Old Dominion University out in Norfolk, Virginia, and got a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. And then when I returned home, I pursued a master's in business. So I definitely credit the military with the discipline to accomplish those things.
And that's a great example of what our students could do. Those who are academically disciplined can begin their college pathway. Those who enter the CTE preparation for careers, that's also a great jump start for their careers, because that may also lead to college and other endeavors as well. So that's what we want to prepare our kids for. There's a college track, there's a career track, and then there's also a military track. And that's what we want to ensure that our students are engaged, but also our parents are aware of these services that we're providing our students. So is that something you constantly discuss with our parents?
Yes, so we go ahead and have we have parent meetings throughout the year, especially for our seniors. We have one today as well, but we have a coffee with the principal once a month, and so we bring in different presenters, and we know the impact that military can have on the positive impact it can have on our students. So we've done several outreach activities where we're showcasing our NJROTC program and our both teachers that are part of that program, and by them going and visiting different junior highs and trying to go ahead and recruit more students that we know can be successful in this pathway. And additionally, what we do at the Coffee with the Principal is we bring in these presenters and we go ahead and showcase them and students as well, so that the parents are able to see, the importance of the CCMR components and the importance of, not just career and readiness, but also that military component.
As well. And Mr. Bettis, I know that this is something we want to embed, or we want to ensure that students from all across the district are thinking about careers, because we can ask little children in elementary and they'll tell you, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a police officer, I want to be a doctor. So what are we doing when it comes to our elementary students, middle school students on that regard?
I think both of you kind of hit on a couple of things. One, we need our parents to know, and two, we need our students to know earlier. So we've always focused as they go from 8th grade to 9th grade, what our students are going to, what program they're going to go into. Now what we're trying to do is we need to start them in elementary, showing them what we offer. Sometimes they say, well, they're a little too young to be in elementary and know what they're going to do. But we have to go on an interest of a student. So if we're doing these, talks with the students, talks with the parents, we can try to guide them into the path that they want to be into. And then if they change their mind, well, they're still young enough to change their mind. But they also need to understand that college isn't for everybody. We encourage everybody. I believe that every student has the potential to be in college. I didn't go to college right out of high school, but I eventually got there and I knew I can do it. With that said, the programs that we offer at San Benito High School for our little ones to know, our 4th graders, our 5th graders to know that they can potentially go into cosmetology. They might see their parents in the barbershops or in the beauty salons and say, hey, I want to do that. They need to know that right out of high school, they can do that. Same thing with this area of the valley, welders. That's a big thing right now. We have all over Texas, they need welders. We have students leaving our programs fully certified and going into the workforce, making money for their families. Our nursing and medical program is second to none. I would put it against any other district in the valley, and we offer as many courses or more than almost everybody else. And there are certifications that our students are leaving with. They're ready for the workforce. So,
Great. And one common denominator that you all have is that you're all parents, and you all are parents of students who went through San Benito schools or are currently going through San Benito schools and have achieved either academic success, great careers. And so can you share a little bit about how, as a parent, it's important to be involved with the students' goals, ambitions? Anybody want to chime in on that?
Sure, I'll start off. Well, I have my daughter, went through San Benito High School, and she was focused on, I'm going straight to college. As a parent, for my daughter to leave with 2 years of college credits and ready to go, that was a big savings for me, because now it meant that she finished college in, 2.5 years. It was a blessing. My younger son is in high school right now, and he's in the law enforcement track, and that's probably the route he wants to go. So all the trainings and everything that he's hearing now, he's absorbing it. And he either is going to know by his senior year that that's what I want to go into, or maybe I will go a different route. So it's a blessing to have these programs.
And as a parent, how how encouraging do we need to be of our students?
I think that we always need to make sure that we have those conversations with our own children and let them know the importance of education and let them know, that they can really be anything that they aspire to be. As a parent, I know that the high school, the district provided a great foundation for my students, for my own children, from elementary, where they were at Ed Downs Elementary, all the way through the junior highs, Berta Cavazza and San Benito High School, specifically going back to CCMR, specifically the CTE Health Science program is amazing. All my kids went through that. Even though one went into law, I do have two that followed the medical field. And so that is an amazing program that opens up the doors for our students and provides them with that foundation needed if they want to go into medical school or any other school of their choice.
Good. And Mr. Villar, the importance of what we do here in San Benito for our students?
Absolutely. We have a system that works. My daughter graduated in 2016. She was not in ROTC, but she still went on to pursue a career in the military, attending the U.S. Naval Academy, and now serves as a cyber warfare officer. And I credit a lot of that to San Benito. Now my son, who will be graduating, is going out to school in Florida to pursue a career in aviation. And both are success stories out of San Benito. So we have a system that works with plentiful resources for whatever option kids are seeking and parents.
And that's the message we want to send to our parents and families is that we do have the means in order to support our students, whatever they want, whatever career track they want, whether they want to pursue a college degree first and go into a career, preparing students through the CTE program, which is our Career Technology Education Department, and then also our military careers as well through our NJROTC and plus other initiatives that we have for that. So we want to thank each one of our panelists for joining us here today and for being supportive of our students and more importantly, our families to ensure that we are providing the support we need in order for our students to gain the knowledge and preparation for post-secondary education, because we're not only responsible for pre-K-12, we're also responsible for setting the pathway for post-secondary for our students as well. So thank you. In a few moments, we'll be joining members of the CCMR program of San Benito High School. Welcome back to our episode of Spotlight in Education, where we're talking about college and career and military readiness. And so joining us here today is our Director of Advanced Academics and Counseling for our San Benito schools, Ms. Sandy Romeros. Welcome, Sandy, to our program. And so today's episode, we're discussing CCMR. We like to use our acronym CCMR, of course, stands for College, Career, and Military Readiness. And so welcome again. And so one of the areas that you're responsible for is overseeing the CCMR College Center, which is at San Benito High School.
Yes.
And so can you speak a little bit about the services and the support that we offer our students at the CCMR Center?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have our CCMR Center, and I'm glad you mentioned that. As you mentioned, it has evolved from what people still traditionally do call it is the College Center for short. Then at another point, we added that career piece as we began to create more emphasis on the career responsibilities and opportunities that we have at San Benito High School. And now this year we did add that military piece, so we now have that branded as our CCMR Center, College Career Military Readiness Center. So this is a location that is in the back of our library at San Benito High School. It's a very large space, so we have the opportunities for students to come in. It is open in the morning before school, during the lunch periods, and after school as well, we're usually open until about 5 o'clock, and then extended hours for specific events such as our financial aid nights. So this is an opportunity or space where all of our students can come in who are students at San Benito High School to come in and work on anything and everything related to college, career, military readiness. We have our representatives or recruiters, as we call them, for the different universities and for the military, and we have spaces set up for each of them to have their literature, their contact information, and that's where they also have their meetings with students. Of course, we have computers available because so much, pretty much everything, of course, is done online now as far as different applications and such. So it's pretty much just a one-stop shop, if you will. We do have space, we do have staff dedicated to that space. We have also partnerships. Partnerships are so very important. So we have our partnerships with UTRGV, and they provide support through AmeriCorps and Advice Texas, and they have staff who are also housed there at our CCMR Center to be able to provide supports additionally to our students.
Great. And so what are the necessary steps or immediate steps that some of our parents need to take when it comes to preparing the students for CCMR services? What would you like to share with our parents in that regard?
Really, if there was something that I could share with parents in that regard, it would be to ensure we're having those dialogues at home, having those conversations with their children, regardless if we're talking a student in pre-kinder or, of course, a student who's a senior. Having those conversations about each of those components and what are the students' interests, what is it that they are seeing themselves wanting to do when it comes to whatever that next step is, whether it's an elementary student who's going into middle school, what are the opportunities that are now becoming available in each of those components? For college, are they taking the most rigorous courses that are available to them? When it comes to the career piece, we do begin offering our CTE courses in middle school. So are they taking advantage of those? And on that military piece, are they taking advantage of leadership opportunities within their campus? And then when we go from middle school, of course, to high school, and we have so much more of that world open up to them. And then we have programs such as the more advanced coursework going into now shifting into advanced placement, dual enrollment, which is of course a whole world that we're continuing to build upon. CTE, now we're shifting into students participating in their program of study, ensuring that they have that program of study something that they are enjoying, making sure that that selection, that's so important when we're in 8th grade, that they're selecting a program of study that is truly something that they are wanting to do and hopefully find a passion in, and that they're taking those programs of study courses every year in high school and participating in their opportunity for an IBC, an industry-based certification that they can then use after high school. And then when it comes to military, are they now possibly interested in joining our ROTC program and all of the great benefits that being a part of that program comes into play. So again, just really, really having those conversations. There's no wrong question. Yep. There's no wrong answer when it comes to those conversations that they're having. And also knowing the resources that are available. You mentioned, our CCMR Center. That's just one piece. Every campus has their school counselor, has administrators, has teachers. All of us are working together to ensure that our students are ready and prepared for whatever that next step is. Awareness is such an important piece for me, making sure that I never want to hear from a student or a parent that, oh, I didn't know that was available to my child. If I had known, we would have taken advantage. So that's something that we're continuing to work to build on, making sure that we are letting parents know about. Earlier in the last segment, Mr. Pettis mentioned, all of the different great opportunities we have in CTE and in advanced academics. So just really making sure we get that word out. We want our parents to be involved. We do host various awareness opportunities to make sure that we're getting that information out to them. Even something as simple as following our Facebook pages. We do, all of our campuses are very active in putting information out. Right now, we are here towards the tail end of the school year, so having a lot of parent awareness events about opportunities their child can participate in for next school year. For example, earlier in the semester, we had transition nights. So we had transition nights for our 5th grade parents and students who are getting ready to transition to middle school. And then we had transition nights for our 8th grade students who are getting ready to transition over to high school, to the VMA campus next year. So participating in those types of activities that we sponsor. And right now, all of the end of the year activities, of course, are really important and exciting. Right now, we're getting ready, for example, to open up our summer dual enrollment opportunity, something that we're bringing back, getting ready to register for next school year dual enrollment. So, of course, making sure that we make parents aware that those opportunities are there. So, again, just that dialogue between the parent and their child, and being involved with the goings-on at the campuses and within the district.
So it's a system-wide approach as to what we're doing with our students.
Absolutely.
Keeping with the theme of parents, and of course, Mr. Verial, you're a parent here in our district, and you have a student, you have a child, son, that is going to graduate in May. And so how has the CCMR process, the College Center, supported those efforts in terms of your student preparing for college, and also you as a parent being aware of what you have to do as a parent?
The CCMR Center has been vital to my son's success or planning his post-success high school career, college path. And so not only the CCMR Center, but the leadership at the high school and the counseling services at the high school have all come together and were a vital resource for my son in preparation with SAT taking, TSI, SAT, college application, scholarship application, and everybody came together to help him when he sought that help. So it really takes students just reaching out to that center and asking for help, or parents asking for help, and the resources are there. We have all the resources that they need for students to pursue, whether it's careers, college, or military.
Great. And Mr. Perez, I know that the College Career Center and what Ms. Romero has shared with us, it's a year-long process that we're doing. It's not just we start in September and we end in end in May. It's a whole year process. Can you share a little bit about what the district does to support? And I know that we also have an adjunct center at one of our at the Landrum complex, kind of like supports our postgraduates as well.
Well, as everybody knows, our school year ends in May, but we stay open. Our school district is available for all of our students. A lot of the times we get graduating seniors that might have procrastinated a little bit, but we're there for them, so they know that they can come back a week after graduation and know that we're still going to help them. Once a Greyhound, always a Greyhound. It's a thing. It's a real thing. For me, anybody in the community that is one of our graduates that ever needs help, we will open the doors. Like you were saying, we do have a community center housed at the old Landrum Elementary, and that's part of our FACE department, but we open it up. People need help with anything, college applications, scholarships. Our graduating seniors need a place to do some work. We've had several students come back and use our internet, use our computers, use our printers, and we want to be there for them. So yes, it's an all-year thing for us. It's something that we really focus to be there for.
And it's a great center because it has, like you said, the FACE department, but it also has other, the federal programs departments there. So there's a lot of support services there. And so it's kind of natural that we have a community center there that with a computer lab that we can have parents come in and do a resume. We can have someone do an online job application. We can do, it's like a outreach for the members of our community that are not San Benito students right now, but are a member of our community, so they can enjoy those services and have whatever goals they have. And so we welcome that, and we know that it's an effort of the FACE department and also of the after-school program that operates that center.
If I may, you mentioned, once a Greyhound, always a Greyhound. We have events where, I'll give an example, financial aid nights. We have students and parents who have graduated 2 years, 3 years, 4 years out who still come to us because they feel more comfortable knowing that it's a familiar place. Sometimes those universities can be a little bit, it's a large, scary scene for some, and so they prefer to come to us. And, it's just really great to know that they feel that level of comfort knowing that even though they've graduated, that they still can come back to us.
Great. And so any closing thoughts, member of the panel, when it comes to what we're doing with our students, or what do we envision in the future for our CCMR Center?
I mean, I can say that, you mentioned, I wanted to go back to something you mentioned earlier as far as systematic. And that's something that we are continuing to expand upon this year. It's not just this is the CCMR Center and that it's that department's responsibility, if you will. But CCMR is for everybody. Every department, every campus. Again, it's not just a high school or a senior thing. This is for everybody. Mr. Bettis mentioned a little while ago about how sometimes our seniors might procrastinate, and here we are right now we're filming this and it's almost April, and we're seeing that we do still have some of that senioritis that kicked into some of our students. So we are actually ensuring that every senior right now is being conferenced with who might still be pending their FAFSA, who might still be pending, maybe hasn't pulled that trigger and submitted that college application yet. So all of our administrative team at the San Benito High School, our administrative team in our Office of Academics, we are all starting to meet, and we've identified those students and conferencing with them, encouraging them. In your last segment, Ms. Lopez mentioned the TSI, and that's such an important piece. That's an assessment that if students don't pass that and they go on to college, they have to go into that developmental course, which is just another challenge for them before they can take those credit-bearing courses. So ensuring that our students know that we have tutorial sessions, we have opportunities for them if they're, to close that gap and be able to graduate college ready in that sense of clearing their TSI. So again, something that everybody is really on board and supporting this year.
Great. And so again, I want to thank everyone for being here today on our panel and discussing the importance of preparing our students for college, career, and military readiness. And so I want to share with the public the location of the CCMR Center that is located at San Benito High School. That's at 450 South Williams Road. And the phone number of the high school is 361-6500. That's those are the CCMR Service Center at the high school. We also discussed the community lab that we have at Landrum Education Complex, and that is also located at 450 South Dick Dowling in San Benito. And you can contact either the FACE department at 361-6310 or the after school program at 361-6450. And so we want to, again, thank each one of you for being here with us today and discussing your personal stories, but at the same time, what we do as a team here at San Benito Schools. So we want to thank everyone for joining us here today. Our next episode is going to be covering STAR and EOC testing. So we hope that everyone can join us for that next episode. Again, thank you, and thank you for being supportive of San Benito Schools.